Hi guys, welcome to Friendship Shaving. I'm sorry to tell you that I'm halfway through the video. I've messed it up as somebody came to the door and I had to get it, and instead of pressing pause I stopped the video. So this might be a short video. I've already had one pass. But we'll go again and I'll talk about all the things that I've just talked about. So you can see I'm using my vintage rubber set brush with a fan-shaped tuxedo knot. I'm getting myself in quite a mess there. I'm using a very nice soap today actually. It is a collaboration between a company called Soul Objects in Germany and Hags, which are shaving soap makers or soap makers in Greece. And they've come up with Poor Soul Brothers. Now, why there is a picture of a fellow's backside with a very minimal pair of trunks on, I do not know at all, but there we go. It is an homage to a 1934 scent called Pour un homme de Caron, which was famously worn by James Dean, Nicolas Sarkozy and Jacques Chirac, presidents of France, also wore this perfume. So that is what it is based on. It has opening notes of lavender, bergamot, rosemary and lemon, and I certainly get all of that when I first open and load up the soap. Heart notes of clary sage, coriander, cedar and geranium, and an interesting mix of base notes: rosewood, heliotrope, rose, vanilla, musk, tonka and amber. So now I could do with a bit more soap on my brush, but let's just see if I've got enough for this pass. Using my lovely FW Engels Razor today, which was restored beautifully by Mike at Duke City Vintage. I'll put the link in the description below. The edge on this razor is very nice indeed. It is not a harsh edge at all. It's a very sort of soft, easy shave with this razor, which is very nice indeed. I was shaving with my little double duck dwarf the other day, and that, in contrast, the edge on that is much more, well, it feels more sharp, but I doubt that is true, but it is a much harsher edge. And I have a straight razor which I've bought. I have it here, and I'd like to show you that in a moment and ask if you know who the maker is. And guys, I think I'm getting a polishing machine next Tuesday, which will be really great. I'm really looking forward to that. There's a little bit of rust on this razor, so I'll be able to take it off the spine and make it look beautiful, and hopefully have some good shaves with it. Guys, I bought a Nagura stone. Now, for those of you that don't know, a Nagura stone is just a small piece of slurry stone. And I had a little bit of an epiphany the other day. Because I have a hard Vimeo bench stone that's a nice size. I bought it when I first started to think about shaving with a straight razor. So I've had it a few years now. And I suddenly thought, well, as that's a hard stone, rather than buying different large stones to sharpen my razor on, to hone my razor, and I'm doing it the wrong way there, it should be that way when you hone, perhaps I can just use the little slurry stones I've got, which are a softer stone, bring up a slurry on my hard stone and hone my razor like that. And I was watching one of Jacques' videos, and Jacques has the shaving channel Dapper Shaves, and I asked him if I had the right idea, and is this the very basic idea behind using Japanese natural stones? Because I've watched some videos on Japanese natural stones, but sometimes I don't even know what the people are talking about. So Jacques very kindly said, replied and said, yes, that is basically the idea. So that is what I'm going to have a play around with. So Jacques, thank you very much indeed, much appreciated. I feel like the pennies just dropped in my mind, So I've got a little piece of Belgian blue whetstone, and I've got a cuticule or cuticule stone. I can have a little play with those little slurry stones on my Vimeo and see how it goes. And I've actually bought something called Monzen To, minding in the Kyoto area. Bought it from a Japanese seller, I believe, £23, and I'll include the link so you can have a look. But that is a 2000 grit stone. So my idea is, I've got my 1000 grit Naniwa bevel setter, got my little 2000 grit stone when it arrives, my Nagura, and then if I can get a 4000 and an 8000, then I've got my 12 to 15,000 Vimeo, I'll be set. And it seems like, I don't know, perhaps, at a beginner's level, a cheap way of getting some nice stones and being able to hone when you're really sort of inexperienced. And instead of sort of collecting a large number of bench stones or big stones, seemed like a good idea to me anyway. And my towels on the floor as well. So there, that's what I've been thinking about that all week. So if I get this razor cleaned up that I've got, I'll be able to have a little practice and a little try and see how that works. Now, I'm quite looking forward to it, guys, I must admit. Now I'm going to add a drop more water to this. You know, the first pass with this soap was, it was a beautiful lather. I'm sorry you missed it. It was a beautiful lather. But then it just went really thin on that second pass. So I don't quite know what happened there, but there we go. It is what it is. I've been watching Leon this week have a shave. Leon is a long haul tanker. That's his YouTube channel name. Very interesting. Listening to Leon as he travels throughout the States. Telling you about the locks he has to buy for doors that are in pit stops and nobody can get in when he's having, you know, a shower and a shave and things like that, how he protects himself. Tough job, I think, being a long haul trucker. Really, really tough job. Right, let's go for the final pass with this razor. It's had a life, this razor, although it's been beautifully restored. There are still marks and nicks in the steel telling its story. Perhaps it was neglected for a while. It's a strange soap, this. I think it's starting to dissipate again a little bit. I must admit, it's not really my scent. It almost smells a little bit florally, but you've got the lavender and the rosemary. I'm not so keen as rosemary in a soap, I must admit. It's one of the scents that I don't really find appealing. But perhaps as it perhaps as the top notes die down and the bass notes come through, it'll change slightly. It does say on the bass that it is, you know, it's a high intensity scent. So And guys, I did say in last week's video that this shave would be with the new Parker Solo Edge razor. Unfortunately, when I said that, I just completely forgot that every other week I do a straight razor shave. So I decided to stick with that. But my apologies if you've tuned in expecting to see that shave. I've learned so much, you know, about shaving with a straight razor as I've gone along, and it's just been a little bit here and a little bit there. I like the history of these old straight razors. I like finding out about that. It's been a very pleasant exploration. Of a different way of shaving, and if you're into that and you like a bit of history as well, I'd really recommend it as a way of shaving. It's really been a great journey for me, and a long journey. There's quite a rabbit hole there to fall down, but I'm quite enjoying the fall. Now, I'll just rinse my face and then I'll show you this razor that I bought. And then I'll put on some aftershave. Because I've got one, it's right behind the camera, typically. So I hope I can reach it. Right, this razor, let me make sure my hands are dry. So I bought this, it looks really interesting guys, and it was really cheap. Bought this on eBay. Can you see the sword or dagger on the scales there? Now that's really interesting. And as I open it up, it says George V Crown Razor, extra hollow ground. And on the tang here, there is, it's not quite been stamped in properly, but there is that sword with Sheffield. And that's all the information that's on there. There's no maker's name or address or anything like that. George V Crown Razor. Now I wonder if Crown Razor were the company. Certainly it's either made or the steel comes from Sheffield. I suspect made in Sheffield. If it was ground or made in Germany, I would have thought it would have said so. There's absolutely nothing on the reverse. The scales remind me of an old crown and sword type razor with a sort of the crown and sword on the scales, much like that. But that is German made and this one clearly isn't. So if you have any information about this maker, I'd love to hear from you. Please drop us a comment, and hopefully we'll find out a little bit more about it. I've been looking for about 3 days, I haven't found anything yet. A little bit of rust on it there, and on the spine, and a tiny bit on the back side there. I've been rubbing it with some flits, polish. Boy, that's expensive and it's hard work. So, but yeah, love to know more about that, guys. If you happen to know now, is this where the camera falls over? No, it's not. We've got it. I've got Boom Slang 2 from Bundo Beard in South Africa. This is an aftershave balm, guys, and I've not used an aftershave balm before I've used this. It says ingredients: whole veld grass-fed tallow, shea butter from Ghana, cold pressed coconut oil from Moz, beeswax and propolis from Guatemala, and cold pressed virgin olive oil from the fairest Cape, essential oils and fragrance oil from all over Kakamas to Kazakhstan and then some. It sounds good, doesn't it? I used some in the week. I found it to be very good. It's really mentholated. It doesn't smell it, but when I put it on, I really get the menthol. I'll use that next time and I'll tell you a little bit more about the scent. But it's very pleasant indeed. It only takes a little bit. It seems quite oily at first. No, I need more than that. It seems quite oily at first, but it's superb for the skin, it really is. There we go, let's have a big dollop of that. Now I can feel the menthol straight away, and now I can smell it. It is oily and it's a bit sticky going on. That's better. I've got my hands nice and hot. So yeah, it feels really oily at the moment. My face has gone red and the menthol really is kicking in. But this will all calm down and I found my skin to be in great condition. So guys, that is my rather adventurous shave for today. I hope you keep well and I'll see you next time around. And on the next video, I promise we will be using the new Parker Solo Edge Razor. Until then, you look after yourselves. Take good care. Bye bye now.